let's look at a velocity time graph now. Notice that velocity is on the y-axis here, not distance. Velocity time graph. So we're looking at the change in velocity as time goes on. As you go up the x-axis, velocity increases. You're going faster and faster. As you get closer to zero, velocity is decreasing. As you go negative, velocity is increasing in this direction, negatively, meaning in the opposite direction. All right, so one important thing about the velocity time graph is that the slope gives you acceleration. So the slope velocity time graph gives you acceleration because slope is change in y over change in x. And here that's change in velocity over change in time, which we now know is acceleration. So the slope equals acceleration. When the slope is steep on a graph like this, that means that the change is at a greater rate. So the velocity is changing more and more, which means the acceleration is a greater and greater degree. So here, the velocity or the slope is pretty shallow, so the acceleration doesn't have a great magnitude, but as you increase in time, your slope gets steeper and steeper, and your acceleration gets greater and greater. So let's look at a specific point in time on this graph. Let's look at time equals about 4 seconds. About here. And at this point, the velocity is about 3 meters per second. So velocity is about 3 meters per second at 4 seconds. And is the object speeding up or slowing down here, or is it constant? And so when we know that the velocity is positive. So the velocity here is has a positive direction. But if we look at the acceleration, which is equal to the slope of the line right there at that point, we have a negative slope. So acceleration, whatever it is going to be negative. We have a negative acceleration. And when you have a positive velocity and a negative acceleration, that means you're slowing down. So you're decelerating. Let's make note of that. So decelerating. And you can think of it that you can think that curves, so the blue line, when a curve is heading toward the horizontal axis, it's slowing down. So anytime a curve is headed toward the horizontal axis, meaning this time axis, it's slowing down. Even if it's headed from from the negative direction, if it's going toward the horizontal axis, then it's slowing down. And curves heading away are speeding up.